Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavatim Naishtiki. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavad 5th Canto, chapter 25. The title of the chapter is The Glories of Lord Ananta. So we have to cover 4 verses, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 5 verses. I'll first read the 11, 12, 13, there is no purport, and then we will come to today's verse, which is 14. Yannama shrutamanu kirtayeda kasmat arto vayadi patita pralambanat hanti ahamapadi nirnamasesha anyam kam sheshad bhagavad ashrayena mumukshu. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Even if he is distressed or degraded, any person who chants the holy name of the Lord, having heard it from a bona fide spiritual master, is immediately purified. Even if he chants the Lord's name jokingly or by chance, he and anybody who hears him are both freed from all sins. Therefore, how can anyone seeking disentanglement from the material clutches avoid chanting the name of Lord Shesha? Of whom else should one take shelter except Lord Shesha? Next verse, translation. Because the Lord is unlimited, no one can estimate His power. This entire universe, with its many great mountains, rivers, oceans, trees and living entities, is resting just like an atom on one of His many thousands of hoods. Is there anybody, even with thousands of tongues, who can describe His glories? There is no end to the great and glorious qualities of that powerful Lord Ananta Dev. Indeed, His power is unlimited. Though self-sufficient, He Himself is the support of everything. He resides beneath the lower planetary system and easily sustains the entire universe. Today's verse, a little difficult to sing, but I just read it. Eta hi eve niribir upaganta gatayo yatha karma vinirmita yathopedesham anuvarnita kaman kamayimanay. Eta, all these, he, indeed, eva, certainly, iha, in this universe, niribhi, by all living entities, upagantavyaha, achievable, gataya, destinations, yatha karma, according to one's past activities, vinirmitaha, created, yatha upadesham, as instructed, anuvarnitaha, described accordingly, kaman, material enjoyment, kamayamanae, those who are desiring. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. My dear King, as I have heard of it from my spiritual master, I have fully described to you the creation of the material world according to the fruitive activities and desire of their conditioned souls. Those conditioned souls who are full of material desires achieve various situations in different planetary systems, and in this way they live within this material creation. Purport. In this regard, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, Anadi karma phale padi bhavar nava jale tari bare na dekhi upay. My Lord, I do not know when I commenced my material life, but I can certainly experience that I have fallen into the deep ocean of nichains. Now, I can also see there is no other way to get out of it than to take shelter of your lotus feet. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offers the following prayer. Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavam budau kripaya tava pada pankaja dhuli sadrisham vichintya. My dear Lord, son of Maharaj Nanda, I am your eternal servant. Somehow or other I have fallen into this ocean of nichains. Kindly therefore save me from this horrible condition of materialistic life. We come to the last verse of today's chapter, 15th verse, translation. My dear king, I have thus described how people generally act according to their different desires, and as a result get different types of bodies in higher or lower planets. You inquired of these things from me, and I have explained to you whatever I have heard from authorities. What shall I speak of now? Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 5th canto, 25th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Glories of Lord Ananta. Om Agyantimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutaha Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamshya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sachivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamshcha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shri Mate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. It's a very rare fortune to be in this holy dham of Vrindavan, even for few seconds. Srila Rupa Goswami describes in the Mathura Mahatmya that anybody who even spends a small amount of time in this holy dham, he becomes purified and attains loving devotional service to the Supreme Lord Krishna. Today's verse, these last 3-4 verses are describing the glories of Lord Anantadev, who is none other than an expansion of Lord Balaram. Srila Prabhupada explains that Krishna and Balaram, there is no difference. The only difference is that Krishna is blackish, Shyam Sundar, and Lord Balaram is whitish in complexion. Lord Balaram expands himself to Ananta Shesh, and from there the Chaturvi expansion, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and then secondary expansions. And then we have Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, Kshirodakshai Vishnu, the Purusha avatars. These are all described in the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Sanatana Goswami. On the bank of the river Ganga in Varanasi, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke for about 2 months in great detail about the opulence and sweetness of Krishna, about the different material and spiritual creations, the different avatars, the different processes of devotional service. So specifically this, today's verse, we begin with the 11th verse. It describes about the glories of the holy name. It is explained that even if somebody is distressed or degraded, any person who chants the holy name of the Lord, having heard it from a bona fide spiritual master, is immediately purified. Even if he chants jokingly or by chance, he and anybody who hears him are freed from all sins. Therefore, how can anybody who seeks disentanglement from the material clutches avoid chanting the name of Lord Shesha? For that matter, any of the names of the Lord. The holy name is the most important object of love for a devotee in the sadhaka stage, in the liberated stage, and also in the pure stage. The holy name is everything. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has described the glories of the holy name very extensively in his book Harinam Chintamani and in many other books also. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that the holy name is the greatest, the best way of expressing one's devotional service. And again it is confirmed by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was residing in Jagannath Puri, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was earlier a Mayavadi philosopher. He was a great learned Pandit, but he was not as of yet a devotee externally. Because we can understand he is incarnation of Brihaspati, so he is not ordinary. But just from the point of view of the past times, he was as if he is a Mayavadi. By the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was delivered. Initially, he was not willing to accept Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He was arguing with his brother-in-law, whose name was Gopinath Acharya. He was arguing, how can you say that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? The Lord does not appear in Kali Yuga. One of the names of the Lord is Tri Yuga, one who appears in 3 yugas. And the Lord does not appear in Kali Yuga. And Gopinath Acharya was trying to explain with the help of the Mahabharata and the Srimad Bhagavatam. In the Mahabharata, interestingly, there are 8 names of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu which are described. This was spoken by the great Mahajan, Bhishma Dev, to Yudhishthir Maharaj. When Bhishma Dev was about to leave his body in Kurukshetra, having waited for several months, at that time Yudhishthir Maharaj came to meet him to get some advice. And during the course of the discussion, Bhishma Dev spoke the 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu, Vishnu Sahasranam. And among those 8 names, among the 1,000 names, 8 names are Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's name. Suvarna Varna Hemanga Varanga Chandana Gado Sanyasa Krichama Shanta Nishta Shanta Parayana. These 8 names, they relate to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sannyasa. In no other avatar Lord takes sannyas. And Nishta Shanta Parayana, who is firmly fixed in devotional service. And Gopinath Acharya tried to explain from the Mahabharata, also from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishnam Varnam Tusha Krishna. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was not willing to accept. Finally, Gopinath Acharya became a little fed up. He said, to try to preach to you is useless. It's like sowing seed in a barren land. Even if you just, put all the fertilizer, nothing will grow. But we see, although Sarvam Bhattacharya was not willing to accept, but because of his relationship with Gopinath Acharya, who was an intimate associate of the Lord, Sarvam Bhattacharya received the mercy. And finally, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu discussed with him the Atmaram verse and many different philosophical aspects, and Sarvam Bhattacharya could understand that this person is the Supreme Lord. He surrendered to the Lord. And at that time, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed him 6-armed form, with a flute in 2 hands, with a bow and arrow in 2 hands, and a kamandal and a danda in 2 hands. Sarvam Bhattacharya surrendered. And then one day, Sarvam Bhattacharya asked this question to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu: among all the items of devotional service, which is the most important? And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained that the most important is the chanting of the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. In the teachings to Sanatana Goswami also, which took place on the bank of the Ganga, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu repeated the same truth. Sanatana Goswami heard all the 64 items of devotional service. And then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained to him, Tar madhe sarvashreshta nama sankirtan niraparade nama loy pai premadhan. Tar madhe means among all these 64 items, sarvashreshta means the best is the chanting of the holy name. But niraparade nama loy. So chanting of the holy name is undoubtedly the most important aspect of a devotee's life. Whether we are newcomer devotees, whether we have been in the society for 20 years or whether 50 years, whether somebody is a liberated person, the holy name is the essence of all spiritual activities. Even the gopis in the spiritual world are constantly chanting the names of Krishna. It is not that the name of Krishna is the means to liberation, and once you finish chanting, you give it up, and then you come to some higher practice. Sadhya and sadhan. Sadhya means the means. Sadhya means the means. Your means the process. And sadhan, sadhya means the goal, and sadhana means the means. So both of these things are there in the holy name. One chants the holy name to become freed from material desires, and then when one becomes purified, one goes on chanting. The holy name is unlimited. Today's verse is being explained, the glories of Lord Ananta Shesh. He has got thousands of hoods. Sometimes we, in childhood we use some story books. I don't know whether you have Maharashtra Chando Baba, or some comics we hear about some snake who has got several hoods. Imaginary. But here this is not imaginary. Lord Ananta Shesh is reality. He is having thousands of hoods. And the entire universe is being supported by him just like a mustard seed. That means the entire creation, the entire city, Delhi, Bombay, New York, London, Tokyo, heavenly planet, all the metros, all the roads, all the mobiles, all the sound systems, all the buildings, they are all resting on Ananta Shesh. It's not that Ananta Shesh is thinking, oh, somebody should take the load. He is just relaxed. That is the power of coming from Krishna. It's explained in the Chaitanya Bhagavat that Ananta Shesh is getting this power because of devotional service. Devotional service is actually the highest power, because that is the power which conquers Krishna, who is the all-powerful. Ajita Jitopi. The Lord is explained as Ajita, who can never be conquered. But Ajita becomes conquered by one who has got devotion. So Ananta Shesh is holding. In one sense, just Ananta Shesh just moves his hood little bit, there can be a massive earthquake. The entire universe can collapse. And just not just one universe, there are thousands and thousands of universes. So what is our power? Sometimes we become proud of little things, little knowledge to speak, little ability to sing, little ability to do something. But just think of Ananta Shesh, how he is really Ananta, he is unlimited. We cannot even fathom the power of Ananta Shesh. And that Ananta Shesh is, in one sense, he is a Supreme Lord, but in another sense, he is expansion of Balaramji. And that Balaramji is just here. He is giving darshan just in few minutes again. So we are sitting before that person who is holding the entire universes. You know, the deity is not different from the Lord. How powerful is the Lord? So Ananta Shesh, he is also constantly glorifying the Lord. You see, glorification of the Lord is such a sweet subject matter that not only the devotees like to glorify the Lord also likes to glorify himself. And he also likes to hear his glories. Ananta Shesh is not different from the Lord, but he is always singing the glories of the Lord. Glories of Krishna, the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the glories of Lord Ramchandra. And the Chaitanya Bhagavad explains that if Ananta Shesh with thousands of hoods were to glorify Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for thousands of years, still he cannot describe the activities which Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed in one moment. The activities performed by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in one moment cannot be described by Ananta Shesh in thousands of years with thousands of mouths. Sometimes we think, I have read the whole Chaitanya Charitamrita. I am an authority on Chaitanya Charitamrita. Even Lord Chaitanya will have to consult me before his next avatar. You know? And I know everything. I have read Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavad, Chaitanya Mangal, Chaitanya Charitra Mahakavya, Chaitanya Chandrodaya Natak. But all of this is not even one moment. Hare Krishna. It's just like a small, say, flash trailer. You know, these trailers in movies, Anandana movie, trailers, soon coming, you know, just a sample. So what we hear in Krishna book, what we read in Krishna book, or here in Bhagavatam, or here in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is just a small fraction. How great Krishna is. All we can say is that he is unlimited, he is Ananta. Nama Ananta, Guna Ananta, Leela Ananta, Rupa Ananta. Everything about the Lord is Ananta, and our time is Anta. So already half the time is gone. What can we say about the Lord? In the Bible it says that one who thinks they know God, they know not. Those who know, they know not. Understand? You know? One who thinks that I know Krishna, he does not know Krishna. One who thinks that I can know God is actually a fool, because nobody can know God. Even Shukadeva Goswami, Lord Brahma, the great Acharyas, they never claim that we know God. Lord Brahma says that some people may say that we know Krishna, God, but actually nobody can know him. Only to a small fraction to whom Krishna reveals through his causeless mercy, he can understand a little bit about the glories of the Lord. That's why Bhagavatam is Ananta. So many speakers will go on describing Bhagavatam, but there will be no end to it. Because Bhagavatam is also Krishna. There are different versions of the Bhagavatam. We read the Bhagavatam with 18,000 verses. There are Bhagavatam with 1 lakh verses also. There is Bhagavatam with 4 verses also. And each one of them is perfect. And still there is scope for more perfect. It is totally bewildering. Krishna is so great. The more we understand Krishna, the more we understand that I am nothing. So knowledge actually makes one humble. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told this example to his devotees. He was sitting with a group of students on the bank of the river Ganga. And this great Pandit came, Digvijay Keshav Kashmiri. He was very proud. The Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told his followers, I am going to cut off his pride, but please do not laugh, because he will feel very embarrassed. The Lord Chaitanya told a tree which is having nice fruits, will always be bowing down, bending down. With a tree which does not have fruits, that tree will be erect. Similarly, a person who is actually advanced in knowledge, he will always bow down, because he will see Krishna's opulence everywhere. With a person who is ignorant, fool, only a fool can be proud. Because if I am proud of anything, it is because of ignorance. The fact is, knowledge means there is nothing but Krishna. Whatever we do is the power of Krishna. Whatever we speak is the power of Krishna. Even the atheist, they are getting their power from Krishna. When Hiranyakashipu challenged Prahlad Maharaj, where do you get your power from? And Prahlad Maharaj said, from the same source. Power supply is same, different sockets are there. I am getting from the same source as you are getting. Hiranyakashipu was very angry. Similarly, when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu challenged Keshav Kashmiri, he says, you are such a great Pandit, why don't you recite some verses? We are sitting on the bank of the Ganga, speak some nice verses. And Keshav Kashmiri spoke 100 verses with the speed of the wind. To write poetry is not easy, to compose poetry. I remember when I was in school, I was, by the causeless mercy of the Lord, I was among the first in school. So after I passed high school, in the next standard, in the 11th, I was taken into a poetry competition, because those who were toppers, they were allowed by default. So I was given 1 hour to write a poetry, and I did not know anything. I just wrote Hare Krishna mantra and came out. Because writing poetry requires certain skills, But Digvijay, in 1 hour, less than an hour, he composed 100 verses. And this is Sanskrit verses, with perfect grammar. And then Lord Chaitanya said, your poetry is so wonderful, except for you and Saraswati, nobody could understand. Lord Chaitanya is so expert. He deflated his pride without making him feel bad. He understood that I am wrong. At the same time, he did not feel so bad. It's like an expert surgeon who does the surgery with perfect anesthesia. Sometimes we find fault in somebody and make him feel bad that he may leave Krishna consciousness. It's like some doctor who is not so experienced. He just does surgery without anesthesia. The patient just runs away or he dies. But Lord Chaitanya Prabhu actually defeated him 3 times. And every time he did it in such a nice way that Keshav Kashmiri he understood that I'm at fault. So when Lord Chaitanya Prabhu told him, can you just analyze one of the verses, find out the faults and the good qualities? Faults? In my poetry there is no faults. I have traveled all over India. I went to Kashmir, I went to Tirupati, sab jagah gaya, main gaya. I went to Mathura, we have traveled all over India. Nobody has defeated me, and you are just a small child. Compared to Keshav Kashmiri, Lord Chaitanya was just like a student, just like a principal in a college compared to a first-year student. So Lord Chaitanya then told him very nicely, actually, even in the writings of the great poets, there are sometimes grammatical errors, She said, okay, which verse shall I analyze? So Lord Chaitanya selected one verse. And Keshav Kashmiri was shocked. He said, how could you memorize it? It was not that Lord Chaitanya had a Samsung mobile recorder ready, immediately replayed it, I was completely shocked. He said, how could you repeat? Lord Chaitanya, how he replied in such a nice way. He replied in such a way that the poet would understand the greatness of God, at the same time he would not feel bad. He said, it is by the mercy of the Lord that somebody becomes a kavi, a great poet. And it is by the mercy of the Lord that somebody becomes a Shrutidhar. Shrutidhar means one who can memorize just after hearing once. And then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him to find faults. He could not. So then Lord Chaitanya explained the faults. He said there is faults in the beginning, faults in the middle, and faults in the end. And he glorified his good qualities also, just to patch up. Lord Chaitanya told him that the body, somebody has a very beautiful body, but if that beautiful body is filled with some leprosy marks, it loses its beauty. Similarly, although your poetry is so beautiful, but because of these faults, It is useless. And one of the faults he pointed out was that you are talking about Ganga. Mother Ganga is coming from the matted hairs of Lord Shiva. And you are using the word for Lord Shiva as Bhavani Bhartur. Bhavani Bhartur, Bhava means Lord Shiva, and Bhavani means Parvati, wife of Lord Shiva, and Bhartu means husband. So you are saying that Ganga is coming from Bhavani Bhartur. That means Ganga is coming from the husband of the wife of Lord Shiva. So this seems sometimes can be misunderstood. Please give this book to the husband of the wife of so and so. So it may mean that he has got another 2 husbands or something like that. And then Lord Chaitanya pointed out some faults, and all the students, they started laughing. And Lord Chaitanya told him, don't laugh. And then he told, and the Pandit was trying. He was actually struggling to open his mouth, and he couldn't even speak. He was praying to Mother Saraswati, please help. And he was like, just stunned. We should know actually, every minute we are doing something is actually a miracle of God. The fact that our body is working is a miracle of God. The fact that the lungs are helping us in breathing is the power of God. Just for a few seconds, the respiratory system stops working, we are finished. We have so many pumps, electric pumps. Sometimes the pumps have to be switched off to get rest. But this heart is pumping for so many years. It's not that sometimes you switch it off, we can see how the Lord is working. So if you understand, I am completely dependent on Krishna, how can we be proud? Pride is just because of ignorance. Knowledge means Krishna. Whatever I see is Krishna. The air is Krishna's energy. The water is Krishna's energy. My body is made of all these 5 tattvas. That is Krishna's energy. I am a part of Krishna. Anybody else speaking better than me is also Krishna's energy. Whether Krishna speaks better through me or through another, what difference does it make? It's all Krishna. So there is no envy, there is no pride if there is proper knowledge. So Lord Chaitanya, just to make him feel good, he said, now go back home, it's getting late, come back tomorrow, we will continue the discussion. Now, Digvijay understood that he is defeated, and Lord understood that he is defeated. And he understood, the Lord understood that he is defeated. But just to make him feel good, Lord said, go back. And then you know the story, how he went back home, and he prayed to Mother Saraswati, please help me, please help me. Saraswati Devi, why did you make me defeated in front of a mere child? And Saraswati Mata explained, that's not ordinary child, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is the Lord of Brahma and Shiva, he is my Lord, how can I speak before him? And then next day he went and surrendered. And Lord Chaitanya showed him mercy and told him to preach the glories of the holy name. So you see that actually to always be in a humble state of mind is the perfection of life. And that is the mood of coming to Vrindavan also. I just want to speak a little bit about accessing the Dham. We are here in this spiritual world, but sometimes we may be physically here in the Vrindavan Dham, but we may not be actually in the Dham. Physically, our bodies may be resting in the abode of Radharani, but to be in the Dham, one has to be in the consciousness which Akrura had. When Akrura entered Vrindavan, what he was thinking. This is from the Krishna book. Srila Prabhupada explains the journey of Akrura, the uncle of Krishna. He was sent by Kansa, and he was thinking, I have been sent by Kansa to bring Krishna and Balaram. Maybe I may be misunderstood, but Krishna knows my heart. Krishna, I will be able to see Krishna after so many years. And as he was thinking, he was praying that when I reach there, I will surrender my heart to Krishna. And then when he came near Brajadham, he saw the footprints of Krishna and Balaram. And he fell down from his chariot and he offered obeisances completely in the dust of Vrindavan Dham. And Srila Prabhupada writes here that this is the way to approach Vrindavan. Sometimes we think this is good for devotees who are coming from outside Vrindavan. You know, I am a resident of Vrindavan. These are for entrance exam. I am already a graduate student. But we are staying in Vrindavan. We have got this permission, the visa from Radharani. But that visa has to be renewed every day. It's not enough that we are here. Every moment we should be conscious that we are here just by the causeless mercy of Guru, who is representing Srimati Radharani. That mood should be cultivated, both for those who come to Vrindavan occasionally or those who come and stay here. To be in that mood, that I am actually in the dust, this dust of Vrindavan. Although now here in this is a town of Vrindavan, it's difficult to imagine to see the dust also. So all over the road. If you go to a remote place like Barsana, or when you see the dust, find the Brijabasis rolling in the dust. I remember when I first came to Vrindavan, many years back, before I came to ISKCON, about 40 years back, and I offered my obeisances, because I didn't know much about Vrindavan, but I was seeing everybody was offering obeisances. And then I got up, as soon as I got up, I started dusting all the dust. One of the Brijabasis saw me, he said, "Arey, tu murakh hai," you know, you are a fool. And I was a topper in school, so I did not like such statements. You know, I shocked. You know, first time somebody is calling me a fool. You know, I said, what happened? In Braja Bhasha, he was saying that this dust of Vrindavan is worshipped by even the demigods, even Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma appears as a mountain in Barsana, Dangad, Bhangad, Mangad, Vilasgad, just to get the dust of Krishna, Radharani, and all the associates. Uddhavji, the great associate of the Lord, he came on the order of Krishna as his messenger. Krishna loved Uddhav so much. Krishna once told Uddhava, neither Lord Brahma, nor Lord Shiva, nor Lakshmi, nor myself, nor do I love myself as much as I love you, Uddhava. Uddhava is actually, in one sense, non-different from Krishna, in the sense, not in terms of tattva, but in terms of intimacy. Just like Krishna in complexion, in the clothes he was wearing, and he came just to pacify the Brajabasis. When he came to pacify the Brajabasis, he saw the entire Braj was filled with tears, the tears of separation from Krishna. Prabhupada writes that the perfection of Krishna consciousness is to cultivate feelings of separation from Krishna. The great acharyas, the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, they would pray like this: He Radhe Vraja Devi ke chalalite, He Nanda Shuno Kuta. Hey Radharani, hey Krishna, hey Nandananda, where are you? Are you on the bank of the river Yamuna? Are you near Govardhan? Where is Krishna? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, when he was in Puri, was constantly feeling separation from Krishna. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? One day he went to the gatekeeper of Jagannath temple and he said, can you show me Krishna? Can you show me Krishna? And the gatekeeper took him near the temple of Jagannath. And when Lord Chaitanya would see Jagannath, he would see Jagannath as the threefold bending, Shyam Sundar Krishna. So Uddhava, when he came here, he was completely amazed. He tried to give some knowledge, but the gopis' level of surrender is far, far, far superior. It's explained in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, purport by Prabhupada, that the demigod, Lord Shiva, performed austerities for thousands of years, 60,000 years, and still could not understand the glory of the dust of the gopis of Vrindavan. And that is the dust we are all, knowingly or unknowingly, we are in association with that dust. Said that in Braj, the supreme purification comes by the dust. In Jagannath Puri, the purification comes by eating prasad. And in Navadvip, the purification comes by chanting the holy names. So just to roll in that dust Uddhava was so much amazed. He was thinking that in this material world, if somebody is crying, we tell him, do not cry. You cry because some relative is dead. Explain that the body is temporary, the soul is eternal. Death is simply a change of body. But if somebody is crying for Krishna, what can you tell him? You simply say, cry more. This is the perfection of life. So Uddhava, he was completely, he lost all pride that I am a great devotee, seeing the devotion of the gopis. Even Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, the Pandavas and Yadus, all of their devotion is nothing compared to the love of the Brajavasis, especially the gopis. And that gopi bhav is what Lord Chaitanya is giving us. Anarpita charim chira. Lord Chaitanya is giving us entrance into Vrindavan. And the price is simply the sincere chanting of the holy name. Just by feelingly crying out, Prabhupada says, just like a child crying for mother, you should cry out for the mercy of Radharani by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. In the purport we read today, the 14th verse purport, Prabhupada is quoting this verse, Ai Nanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishnu. This verse should be in the back of our mind when we are chanting. I'm fallen. I'm degraded. Krishna, please lift me up. Please take me out. I'm drowning. That should be the mood while chanting. Feeling helpless. Feeling completely dependent on the mercy of the Lord. And it's explained that once you chant the holy name with complete faith, faith is very important. Although it's true, it is explained that even if somebody chants the name jokingly, there will be benefit. Just like when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in Navadvip, it was the time of lunar eclipse. So Hindus were taking bath, and while taking bath, hundreds and thousands and millions of people were chanting Hari, 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 Hari. Just chant Hari, no more worry. But the Muslims, seeing the Hindus, they were also joking and jokingly saying Hari, 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 Hari. Yeah, so they were making benefit. We were getting some benefit. Remember, I was a few years back in Hyderabad in one devotee's home. We had a small kirtan program. Shamrup Prabhu, one devotee. And after the program, we were sitting in the garden in the ground. And one Muslim gentleman, he came. He said, Swamiji, yahan mat baithiye, you cannot sit here. I said, what is wrong? You can also come sit. You can, aap bhi mere saath boliye, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. You also chant. He said, nahi, main Hare Krishna, Hare Ram nahi bolunga. I will not chant Hare Krishna. I said, why not? He said, because I am a Muslim. I said, all right, no problem. You chant Allahu Akbar. So I became very happy. He said, Allahu Akbar bolunga, lekin Hare Krishna, Hare Ram nahi bolunga. I will not chant Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. And then finally, I asked him so many reasons. Finally, I said, Khuda Hafiz. Khuda Hafiz. He was very happy. Khuda Hafiz bolunga, lekin Hare Krishna, Hare Ram nahi bolunga. So 3 times he chanted. Somehow or other, we must make people chant Krishna's name. Just like Prabhupada's Gurudev, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. Sometimes there would be an article in the newspaper about the Gaudiya Mutt. And there were 2 articles. And one article was some good things about the mutt. And the other article was bad thing. So Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur would ask, count how many times the name Krishna is coming. So in the positive article, the name was coming only 2 times. And in the critical article, negative, the name was coming 10 times. So Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur said, this article is better. Because 10 lakh people are reading 10 times, so 100 lakh times the name of Krishna will be chanted. So somehow or other, we should encourage people to chant. But then, as we become more advanced for ourselves, we should dive deep into the ocean of the holy name. The holy name is unlimited, And to the degree you absorb yourself in that, to that degree you are benefited. No doubt, it is true. Even if we chant jokingly, there is some benefit. But as we become more senior, more mature, we are expected to dive deeper. The rasa, because the Nam is also Ananta. There is Namabhas, there is Namaparad, and there is Shuddha Nam, 3 different stages. And gradually we should try to advance our chanting to come to that stage of Shuddha Nam. Because only Shuddha Nam will give you love for Krishna. Namaparad stage, there is some advancement. Namabhas can give you mukti. But Shuddha Nam, pure name, will give love for Krishna, which is the goal of life. So, for getting that Shuddha Nam, one should chant with faith. Gaur Govinda Maharaj, very senior disciple of Prabhupada, he tells in one nice lecture, he says that the most important thing for advancement in bhakti is saralta, simplicity. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur would say, saralta ei Vaishnavata. Simplicity is Vaishnavism. When we first come to Krishna consciousness, generally we are very simple. We offer respects to everybody, we are very careful, we try to hear everything. After some time we become little senior. So we lose our simplicity. Tendency is there, not everybody, but we try to judge things and we become very skeptical about other devotees. We must maintain that sense of being very simple. Bible says, if you are childlike, only somebody who is childlike, he can enter into the kingdom of God. It doesn't say one has to be a big pandit or a big learned scholar, but childlike, balak ke saman, both, just child, a child, he has complete faith. My Guru Maharaj has told me that name of Krishna is not different from Krishna, that's all. Nama nami abhinnatvam. That faith should be there. So, Gaur Govinda Maharaj explains the story. There was once a Sadhu Maharaj was speaking the glories of the holy name. And he was explaining, in Odia there is one song, Anande bolo Hari Hari, Hari Koribe Bhavapari. Everybody say, Anande bolo Hari Hari, Hari Koribe Bhavapari. So I think everybody understands that Anande means with pleasure chant Hari Hari, Hari Hari. You should keep chanting Hari till the last breath. You know? So, Anande bolo means with pleasure chant Hari Hari, and Hari Korib Bhavapari. Lord Hari will help you cross over the ocean of birth and death. So, there many people were hearing and they all went back to their homes. In that there were one mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, 2 Matajis were there. Understand, mother-in-law, and Hindi says Sas Bahu, Odia says Sasu Bahu. Gaur Govind Maharaj speaks very sweetly. Mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, you know, every house there are some pastimes between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. That is essential part of ashram, you know. So mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, they were both hearing and they both went back home. And then suddenly they had to cross a river. When they came, the river was just 1 or 2 feet high, they could cross, but now it was 20 feet high. It was roaring and there was no boats. They didn't know swimming. How to cross? There was no boats, no swimming. Daughter-in-law, she was 16 years old, very simple, very faithful. The mother-in-law was more experienced, smart, more experienced, 60 years old. The daughter-in-law, she remembered, Maharaj said in the lecture that just by chanting Hari Hari, you can cross birth and death, ocean. This is a small river. Sadhu Maharaj bole, just Hari Hari bolo. So she just started walking in the river, chanting Hari Hari, Hari 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 Hari, Hari 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 Hari. So keep on saying, like, you know, in childhood we had this game Kabaddi, Kabaddi, Kabaddi. If you stop saying Kabaddi, you are out. So similarly in life, if you keep on saying Hari, 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 you will be not out. As soon as you stop saying Hari, you will be out. So always say Hari, 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 Hari. Now you may think I am just speaking a joke, but actually this is the most important part of all the lecture. If you forget what I spoke for 45 minutes, no problem. Anyway, you will forget, that is natural. If you are in Kali Yuga, you have to forget. If you remember, there is something extraordinary. So only remember these 2 syllables, Hari Hari. 4 Ved, 4 Vedas, 18 Puranas, and 108 Upanishads. They are all contained in the 2 syllable, and that is Hari Hari, Hari Hari. But because we are not so simple, so we don't believe, we don't have faith. We think, okay, Prabhuji, this is all right, but for preaching, for impressing, I have to speak some more things, have to be there. You can tell nice katha, we should tell if you have the ability. But even if you don't know anything, you just know Hari Hari, you will cross over the world. Just by chanting Hari Hari. So the daughter-in-law, she just had full faith, she just started walking. And the river gave way, she just chanted Hari 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 Hari, Hari Hari Hari, Hari 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 Hari. And then she crossed over. And the mother-in-law, how will I cross? How will I cross? Daughter-in-law said, you heard in the lecture, you heard, by chanting the name of Hari, you can cross. The mother-in-law said, what is the guarantee? What is the surety? If it doesn't happen, I will go down. So both were hearing same lecture given by same person at same place. They are from same family. But what was the difference? Faith. That faith should be there. Prabhupada has said, I may not experience any taste for holy name. Very few of us have got taste for holy name. We are trying to get. It may take many births, no problem. But Srila Prabhupada says, Nama Nami Abhinnatvam. There is no difference between Krishna and the holy name. So I will go on chanting. Mukunda Datta was told that you will get the mercy of the Lord after 10 million. Lord was giving mercy to everybody. And Shiva said, what about Mukunda? He is hiding behind the door. Lord Chaitanya said, no, that rascal, I will never give him mercy. And Mukunda was crying. He said, please ask, please, 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 will I ever get mercy? And Shiva requested, he is asking, will he ever get? Lord Chaitanya said, he will get mercy, but after 10 million births. That means 1 crore. How many of you would continue practicing Krishna consciousness if you know that you will get success after 1 crore birth? No? You will think maybe 99 lakhs, I will do something else, then I will come back. But Mukunda was so happy, I will receive the mercy only after 10 million births. And Lord Chaitanya immediately accepted. The same way, we will go on chanting Hare Krishna for 10 million births. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Someday we will get mercy. Someday we will get. That faith should be there. भगवान के दरबार में कभी ना कभी देर है कि अंधेर नहीं. It may take time. That faith should be there. Krishna is in his, that childlike faith should be there. Krishna is always present. Whenever I call the name Krishna, Krishna is appearing. He is non-different. Even if with my senses I cannot perceive, I cannot experience any bliss, but that faith should be there, yes. And next point is, Prabhupada says to chant with complete attention, absorption. With complete attention that the Lord is present. It's like if you know that some important guest is coming to your home or to the temple, some chief minister or prime minister or some mayor, how much attentive we are to receive a guest, because we know that materially he is an influential person. But Radharani and Shyam Sundar, they are present. Prabhupada says, when you chant Hare Krishna, Radha and Shyam Sundar are dancing on your tongue. Prabhupada says in one lecture that when you are chanting, you should be thinking that you are preparing a bejeweled throne for welcoming the Lord in the heart. Just like Gundicha Marjan, now Rath Yatra is coming. So before Lord Jagannath comes, the temple is cleaned. We have to clean our heart so that Radha Shyam Sundar may manifest their mercy in our heart. So that faith, if you have that faith, then that attention will follow. If you have faith that Krishna is there, then be very, very attentive. Compared to Krishna in this material world, Prime Minister, President, they are all very insignificant, less than insect, compared to Krishna. Right? The real CM is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is the real boss. To have faith that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is present, Krishna is present. With all